Hi guys, welcome to FlipIt Bridge Questions Review Part 2. And I'm actually still in assignment number 2. I'm reading your comments about things that you would like to get feedback on. So I noticed that a few of you mentioned opportunity cost, and you have some good questions about opportunity cost. So one of your good questions was, does it have to be monetary? And the answer is yes and no. What do I mean by that? I can give you a question and say, Ayelet is debating between attending a lecture or staying home listening to music. If she attends the lecture, what is her opportunity cost? And the answer would be staying home and listening to music. And of course, if she chooses to stay home and listen to music, her opportunity cost would be missing the lecture. So in this case, it's not monetary. However, some people say that anything in life could get a monetary value. What do I mean by that? Let's say a person decided to quit their job in order to stay home with their kids until they're old enough to go to public school. You can say this is not a monetary decision. The value of staying home with your kids is something that you cannot even account in money. However, think about it this way. If that person, let's say myself, decided to quit work and stay home with my kids, and then I get an offer that pays me a lot of money, I don't know, $500,000 per year or $1 million per year, then for some number, there is going to be a number at which I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going back to work. That's too much money for me to sacrifice. So some people say that value, that monetary value, that price that says from this price on, I will go back to work, is the monetary value of staying home with my kids. So, but it doesn't matter. It's not a big issue, because whether I give it a monetary value or whether I don't give it a monetary value, I just call it staying home with my kids, then the opportunity cost of any decision that I make would be the highest valued of thing that I need to sacrifice in order to make my decision work. So if I decided to go back to work, I am sacrificing staying home with my kids. And if I decided to stay home with my kids, I am sacrificing the money that I would have been making had I not quit my job. So I hope it helps for the opportunity cost. Another comment that I saw was about marginal benefit. So marginal benefit is a cost versus benefit analysis that you do for every unit of the good that you consume or produce, depending who you are. A simple example would be, how many cookies should I eat for dessert? Again, the question is not should I have dessert or not. The question is how many cookies should I have for dessert? Because each cookie will have a certain benefit and a certain cost. And the cost could be a direct cost. Let's say I need to pay $1 for every cookie I buy. But it can also be a cost in terms of, I'm going to gain weight, or maybe I will have a greater health risk if I eat more cookies. Maybe I'm diabetic or something. I don't know. But you compare the total benefit and the total cost for each cookie that you eat. So let's say that for the first cookie that I eat, I decided that the benefit from that cookie is greater than the cost. Then I should eat this cookie. But maybe if I ate a cookie or two, and now I'm thinking about the third cookie, maybe the benefit from the third cookie doesn't justify the cost. Because, I already had two, so the benefit from a third one is not as high as the benefit from the first one. So maybe I should stop here. So marginal reasoning is a cost versus benefit analysis. I'll give you an example. Your class used to have a different textbook that costs over $100. And we decided last semester to switch to open resources, to a free textbook. And the only question that we debated is the cost of the textbook, the previous one, the one that cost over $100, does it justify the benefit from the book? If it does, if this textbook helps students success and they now pass the course and otherwise they wouldn't pass the course, then maybe they should pay an extra $100 because the benefit exceeds the cost. But if not, if students can still have the same passing rates using a free textbook, then the benefit from the printed textbook did not justify its cost. So that's marginal analysis. I am already 5 minutes in, and I do have a few bridge questions to review with you. Let me go back to the home page, and we have units 3 and 4. Unit 3, economic models. Let's go to the bridge. And question 1, 75% of you got it right. The answer is A. Let's see if there is something special I want to tell you. No, I think this is pretty much straightforward. Let's look at some of your answers. I'm sorry, my computer is very slow. So again, the correct answer was 1, and you can see that all these students answer correctly, and they explain why. So you're spending more hours of studying. Here are some more answers that are correct. You're giving up more time studying, so opportunity cost increases. Let's go back, and the next bridge question was about models, and the correct answer was C, and 83.3% of you chose C. So I think we're safe to move on. Production possibility frontier. That is a difficult topic, but look at that. 77.8% of you got answer D for the first one, and that was the correct answer. Here, this is a question I think we should review. So, can a production possibility frontier ever shrink inwards? And the correct answer is D. Yes, it can. And they're talking about a regulation that restricts a country's capacity to produce the goods. And so if it's illegal to produce above a certain quantity, then your production possibility frontier shifts inwards. Maybe another reason that could cause a shift inwards to the production possibility frontier would be if you're losing resources, if you now have fewer resources than you had before. So the correct answer is D. Only 30% of you got it right, but let's review the answers of those 30%. Let's see what they wrote. And again, it will take a few seconds. So here, you have a few students who got it wrong, and one student who got it right. The answer is the definition of production possibility frontier shrinking inwards. This is correct. Restrictions production causes production possibility frontier to shrink inwards. It is correct. If the country regulates the capacity of what it can produce, it will go inwards, just like if the production increases, the production possibility frontier would go outwards. Correct. And you can see a few other answers that were correct. Here is one. When the economy suffered a loss or exhaustion of some scarce resources, this is correct, as well as regulation that will limit resource. So that was one question that many of you got wrong. Let's move on. Here, this one, question 5, the answer was A, and 80% of you got it right. Let's move on to lecture thoughts, just to see if there's anything that I need to relate to. Okay. Okay. The production possibility frontier slope was hard to grasp. I agree. It's the production possibility frontier slope is a difficult topic, and I will say that what you mainly need to know are the differences between a linear production possibility frontier when the slope is constant versus a convex production possibility frontier when the slope changes as you move along the production possibility frontier. When it is linear production possibility frontier, the opportunity cost is constant. And then what you can do to calculate the opportunity cost is to use the two extreme point. Let me demonstrate that on a whiteboard. So I will delete what I have here. Let's move that here. And let me grab a marker and I will show you how to calculate the opportunity cost. So let's say that you can produce either 10 apples or 20 bananas in a week or in a day or in a year. And if it is linear and you want to calculate the slope of the production possibility frontier, then you can use the two extreme points and divide them by one another. So if you are looking for the opportunity cost of producing 1 apple, then you know you need to sacrifice 20 bananas to get 10 apples, which means it is 2 bananas per 1 apple. And if you're asking what is the opportunity cost of producing 1 banana, you sacrifice 10 apples to get 20 bananas, so it is half an apple per 1 banana. So that's the easy part about calculating the slope of the production possibility frontier. And I will not ask you to calculate the slope of a convex production possibility frontier, due to the fact that what you actually need to do is the slope of the tangent at any given point, and this is a more complicated math for our course. So last unit of bridge questions to review is about trade and comparative advantage. This is, again, it is a difficult unit, and let's look at the bridge. Question 1, 78.1% of you got it right. It does let's review just for the sake of 21% who got answer C. It says Sally can type 100 words per minute and David can type 200 words per minute. Given these numbers, society would be better off if which one of the two was employed as a typist. Oh, and actually the answer is C. So the 21% are the one who got it right. And the answer is it does depend, because it depends on what else can they do. This is the difference between a comparative advantage and an absolute advantage. In this case, David has an absolute advantage in typing, but it doesn't mean that he should type. Maybe David has can do other things a lot better than Sally. I'll give you an example. I used to ask this question my past students. If LeBron James can mow his lawn for faster than his next door neighbor, should he do that? Now, the fact that he can do it faster doesn't mean that he should do it. In fact, in this case, he should not do it because he sacrificed time that he could use in doing other things that he is much, much better at than the high school kid. Another example I can give you, I tend to joke and say that I am better than my husband in any task around the house. I can cook better, I can clean better, I can do the laundry better. But the fact that I do it better, or in this case faster, it doesn't mean that I should be the one doing that, because my time is limited. So maybe I should focus on the tasks that I really do well and do them, and give some of the other tasks to my husband, even if he's not as good doing that as me. But by doing that, he frees my time.